come on, we were at 4,000 about a year ago. We dumped to 4,000 and we're at 30,000. What? The only reason to be unhappy is if you discovered Bitcoin 2 months ago and you bought it 50, 60,000. Okay, I get it. But anyway, listen, you still think we're at a discount, right? You think we should be trading about, 50,200. So Bitcoin's at a 20% discount. Now, like, how do you calculate this? Because people will read that and go, yeah, but how do you come up with that price?
Well, this one currently, if I was to look at the level of supply shock that we've got in the system, supply shock is just this word, but you can measure that quantitatively. So, you look across the blockchain, grab all the, cluster all the wallets, and then determine all the individuals by forensically analyzing them, and then you go, okay, who are the guys that hodl? Who are the guys that are traders and speculative? And then you run a ratio of how many coins. Supply shock is essentially the amount of supply of Bitcoin that you can get versus the supply that you can't get. And so one view of supply shock is how many coins do the speculators have, because you probably can get the coins off the speculators because they buy and sell, but you won't be able to get the coins off the hodlers, the Michael Saylors of this world. He ain't selling, right? So it's simply a ratio of those coins you can't get to the coins you can get. I flipped it so that visually it tracks price. Actually, it tracks price very, very closely, except this last 2 months where supply shock's been ramping up and price is going down, which we call that, classic divergence. And it's very, very seldom you see this at that. Well, I've never seen one at that scale before in the 12-year on-chain history of Bitcoin. We had one October last year, and that resolved in a squeeze, right? It squeezed from 10,000 to 60. And so the supply shock now is at the same level as where we were when we were range bound in the 50, 60,000. So all we need is really the sentiment of traders who really determine the short-term pricing of Bitcoin to switch bullish to the same level of bullish FOMO that you saw, pre-May, April, first quarter type zone, where they started to price a premium into Bitcoin above, the fundamentals. Normally you see the price above the fundamentals, in a bull market, and then it gets even more, frothy towards the end is when it just gets out of hand and it's way above what, the long-term guys are supporting the price at. So once that flips, the price, the current supply shock, we deserve to be in the 50, 60,000 range. Once we break 42, that's the long-term sort of line in the sand of the channel we've been playing at. And it's just really just a big gap from there to 50. 42 to 50 is just a gap. So if we break 42, it's not going to be much time to get to 50. So, yeah.
What you think we'll consolidate again around 50, 60 for a while?
Yeah, I think we'll take a little bit more time to slice through. Like, I wouldn't expect us to slice right through, but anything can happen. I kind of expect that we'd just retest some of that zone in there, because we spent so long playing around in that zone of discovering 50 to 60. And then, wow, if we break all-time high from what is that, 64? What was the all-time high? I can't even remember.
It was around 64, yeah. I got the chart.
If we break that, then we'll be off to the races again. And having done that with a very nice, long, kind of 2 to 3 month consolidation back down to test lows. It's a very interesting kind of... it's definitely one of these things I've never seen before on the blockchain, the Bitcoin price action, where, instead of a dump, a wick down, rejects, and it goes back up, the people dumping were just so capitalized that they dumped so many coins that the people that buying the dip, which was the plebs, everybody, took a while. It took 2 months to absorb it to the point that the supply shock has started now.
We were 64,707 high on Coinbase. I've got a number of personal theories that I just pull out of the air of why this might have happened. I mean, we did go up pretty quick. Did we go up too quick based on a small number of very large buyers? We had people buying billions or hundreds of millions. Is that something that happened? And are we seeing a lot more of like Wall Street and professional traders coming in who are buyers and sellers? They don't really care about. I'm sure not many of them are buying because they believe in freedom and freedom money. They see an asset that they can speculate on. And I think we saw, I can't remember the name of that company, the British company, the gold, the specialist in gold. So they bought a whole bunch of Bitcoin. I think they sold all theirs now.
Was it Ruffer? Was it?
Yeah, Ruffer. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they sold all theirs now.
Yeah, they bought like 600 million, and then they dumped.
They dumped a bit, and then I think they dumped the rest.
Yeah, they dumped citing the kids are going to be no longer speculating on meme coins because COVID's coming to the end or something.
Yeah, and so there's that, and then we've got we had a lot of FUD again, as we do every cycle. They're still going on. Thank you very much, Elizabeth Warren. And we also, as even you mentioned, possibly a lot of coins being sold in China. Maybe a lot of the miners were selling their coins off. We don't really know, but you had your point. I think I wrote it down. China is an urgent seller while the West are patient buyers. So it just felt like, I was never upset because I was like, come on, we were at 4,000 about a year ago. We dumped to 4,000 and we're at 30,000. What? The only reason to be unhappy is if you discovered Bitcoin 2 months ago and you bought it 50, 60,000. Okay, I get it. Well, be patient. Or if you're just a trader and you've got wrecked. And I can imagine, Willy, I imagine some people have got really fucking wrecked during the recent dump.
Yeah, there were like billions in liquidations on that like route downwards post Elon Musk. There was, there was a lot of sell off for months, and it was like what Musk did was he validated to many mainstream investors, a lot of, he holds a lot of weight for being somewhat smart in the stuff he knows. And, he's supposed to know about energy because he's got Tesla as a company. And he suddenly validates the stupid FUD that the mainstream press are being thrown at Bitcoin. And I can totally imagine if you're a, new investor that just decided to buy $1 million of Bitcoin because you're got a family office worth $50, $100 million, and you just had a quick 2 to 3x. And Elon Musk says, this is like not good for the planet, and I could see them selling on the authority of Elon Musk. They always tend to follow the narratives of people who are supposed to know what they're doing, including hedge fund managers. And then, straight after that, we had the China ban, and then we had the China ban for real is like, was it 60%? 40 to 60% of the network hash rate shut off, relocated. So major tests for the network. We've never seen that much securing hash power drop off the network, and that's 12 years. The deepest difficulty adjustment downwards. The network had to adjust, and that adjustment was unseen before. It's never gone down that much. So it was a real test for Bitcoin, and the price held with 50% drop, which sounds like horrific, right? But actually, people who have been in Bitcoin long enough know that that's nothing. We just saw that happen with COVID, right? And then it happened like the year before, right? With the bottom of the bear market. So, it's almost an annual thing. And here we've got, a very powerful nation state banning Bitcoin and half the network dropping off, and it recovers quite well. So I think it's ridiculously bullish. I mean, if you've been in a long time, you're rubbing your hands together. You're going, wow, this is an opportunity. I thought, 50, 60,000 is getting pretty expensive, stack more. And yeah, it's for people who've got day jobs that are, got an income stream or a bit of cash on the side, it's like an absolute opportunity.